2.
Talking with my sisters.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning in Texas.
In Dad's mind.
Could be still Friday. We don't know.
Happy Saturday, everybody. As you can see, we have a special guest with us this weekend, or this turn. Our dad, our foundation, and so we thought it'd be fun. He's here visiting us for this next week or so, so we kind of coaxed him into talking into this interview, so he doesn't even know what's going to happen. So
We don't even know.
Y'all don't know what's going to happen.
Y'all don't know because we don't know. So just bear with us a little bit. So we've talked a lot about like quality time, self-love, and our struggles and how we look and see with each other. And my belief is that all comes back from a foundation as to how we were raised. Okay? And so you guys may or may not remember, I mean, we're all 3 sisters and we have the same dad. But between Nana and I, because I'm the oldest and there's 7 of us all together, there's 19 years. So her and my oldest daughter are closer in age than we are. So I thought it would be fun to kind of grill Dad about, raising me back in the good old days in the 70s, 80s. Man. See, y'all, this is where I get this from. Y'all will see it. And then when Margaret came along, little sister Margaret, and then redhead pistol over here. So we're all very different. You guys can see as we go. So why don't you want to go ahead and get started? What about you?
Sorry.
Okay, so what do you think just in with the difference in society between when she was little and when I was little? What do you see the difference in raising us at those different times?
First of all, there's a lot of time between you two. And when we was raising her, it was a whole different story from you. You were brought up in a time where kids stopped listening. Not saying you wouldn't listen, but
No pun intended.
But because like back in your day, they didn't even need car seats. You guys could just run outside and do whatever. By the time, it was safer for you guys to run around. By the time it was my turn, we had technology coming up then, and
So with this society that changed, how did that change your ways? Or did it stay the same? Or
no, it changed because like between you, even on you, she didn't have that, you didn't have that. She didn't have that, but it started about the time that started growing up. So technology between you and you was her technology was, and your technology was, you know what I'm saying? So how do you discipline a kid with the new technology, trying to understand your era, your time, both the hers or even hers, because it's a whole different story, you know what I'm saying? You can't, you can discipline all 3 of you somewhat in the same way by installing the same values, the same respect, but at the same time, I would have that back up because she's different, her is different, her and you. So I couldn't discipline you the way I did or her because it was different. You know what I'm saying? Times are different, times change. Pretty much when she was growing up, it was, and then still her and your brother, and then things started changing after you guys started coming around where you parents couldn't do this. Parents, it started changing because parents, I think a lot of parents stopped raising their kids with respect, values, and morals because they were scared. Kids started about that time. Go ahead, hit me. I'm gonna call the cops. Your brother used to do that all the time, but threaten your mom. Hit me. I'm gonna call the cops. So that didn't just go with us. There's a lot of families. We didn't care. You're still gonna behave. But it didn't happen with a lot of the parents. They got scared. So, okay. So what they did was give them a credit card or give them some money. Well,
Bribe them into being good.
so that so that way if the kids had money, they could entertain themselves doing sometimes not so good drugs, who knows? And that if the parents with no responsibility, and I'm talking kids 12, 13. And then one day these kids grow up and have all these problems, and the parents are wondering, what happened? What happened? You. And it's not what happened, it's what didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? They give them that money for their freedom so that the parents wouldn't have to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So it's not what happened, it's what didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't think so, rough on my kids, but I didn't think that I was because somebody put on Facebook, no names, but that we shouldn't raise our kids in our world, to this world, because it's a whole different world, and it's true. But you can't stop installing that respect, values, morals, all that stuff. You still have to install that to your kids. I don't care what. You get them ready for this world, but this world is not going to be nice to you or nobody. But if you don't teach them to respect themselves and everything around them, then they're going to conform to the world, and the world is nasty. It's not a good place to be in. Myself, I'm ready to leave this world because I'm worth a caca. You know what I'm saying?
So in raising us, I mean, like I said before, there's 7 of us. So we have another sister, Leslie, which is a little over, a year?
About 2 years.
Almost 2 years, older than Nana. So it goes me, my brother Joe, and there's 5 years, and then Sister Margaret. I was going to say,
They're turning me into a nun.
Sister Margaret. If I can figure out how to do like sound effects on this, every time I say Sister Margaret, you're gonna hear wah. Between them two, there's like literally 11 months, and that's no joke. And then there's Raymond, and then there's we have Bubba, and then Leslie and the Nana. So there's 7 of us. When you were raising, what do you see the difference? Because like a lot of our struggle is self-love, and knowing that we're doing okay. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post. Like the mother I wanted to be in my mind was the Carol Brady, but the mama I really am is Medea, because I will beat you. That's just who I ended up being. But when you were raising us, are we now as adults what you thought when we were little? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, so when I was younger, when you were raising me, were you like, man, yeah, this is going to be a little Medea in the making? Or were you kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then you saw Sister Margaret, and then, and then you got, Pistol here. But did you see that as you were raising us? Because, like, we all have kids, and you'll remember when, yours are still fairly little. But do you know what I mean?
Did you did we turn out the way you thought we would?
Yeah. Not career-wise, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking like personality and moral and maybe self-confidence. Because I don't know if you see it, because I know a lot of people out there, they think I'm all kinds of confident.
I think she is.
But if they only knew in here what's going on and how my heart is doing this, and you know what I mean? So did you see that?
No, it's hard. You try and picture what your kid's gonna turn out to be or how they're gonna turn out, but it's impossible. You can't. So because I couldn't see what you were gonna do, how you were gonna be, or my great sister Margaret,
Oh, great.
and Jose. What I had to do was try and teach you all the same values and respect, and stuff, but yet understand
Hmm.
your personality.
But that's what I'm saying. So when I was 7, when I was 13, when I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you see, are we pretty much the same? Because, like, my oldest, like, Crystal, is nowhere where she was when she was 7. She seriously had anxiety, and I still think to this day, I love you, Mija. I do. But she does have anxiety, like, away from me. And I love her to death. And she'll be the first one to tell you, you know. And she, and we're back. No.
We really are.
For reals.
For Rizzle Dizzle. We
Yeah,
had to
I'm
take a
saying.
little water break. Maybe in a few weeks.
Don't believe it, 'cause I don't drink water.
You'll see some of our, we want to get some cups that say Talking with our sisters. Or my
I keep
sisters.
wanting to see Sister Talking, so I don't see it.
Yeah. Maybe. So if anybody out there can hook us up, let us know. So we're going to go back to the questions that we had for Dad about raising 7 kids in the different eras. So what my question to Dad was, when I was growing, oh yeah, push that microphone up this way, sister.
Speaking to the mic.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, no. So what we're talking about is Dad raising, kids, like I said, me in the 70s, them in the 80s, you are 90s, whatever, keep going. Did you see us now? Are we kind of like what we now when we were younger? Or did we drastically change? Because like I was telling you when we were off camera that with my kids, with Crystal, she has grown so much. And if y'all know her, you'll see that this last year has been a year of growth for her. And so she's not when she was little or what she is today. But then my second oldest, he's still the same. He's still that big old teddy bear. I call him my guardian angel. And Jenny is our little bag of diamonds. You know what I'm saying? So that I can still kind of see that. So that's what I'm saying. Do you see that when we were growing up, kind of new and you're like, yeah, that's how you were when you were little? Or were you like, I don't even know what happened? Can we see her? Okay.
Well, it's hard for me because even between you and her, there's a few years, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to raise you all the same, with the same respect, morals and all that, but yet I had to, in a sense, raise you different, because I had to raise Monica. When Monica was growing,
Yeah, I mean, differently because our kids, like I said, I just had Ruben and that discussion I told you about technology and how I told him I felt like when you hear those stories, I walked 10 miles in snow up to here. And I was like, here I was telling Ruben that. I was like, dude, because he's like, Mom, school is so hard. I was like, it is not hard. Y'all just pick up Google, what's 2 plus 2?
Yeah.
We were in school, when I was in school, I had like the whole encyclopedias. I had to carry these big old books, so stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, when you've seen us grow up, you gave us the same foundation, morals, principles. I feel like, that reminds me, I gotta come back to something. But what I'm saying is, are we all where you thought? Is this who we were as we were growing up?
So like me being a redhead, I'm feisty in genetics. So my personality as a kid being feisty, do you think I still am that way now?
Oh,
Or do you think I'm softer?
no, you are softer. You're not like her. She's
You're not feisty like her.
You're not. Then there's Sister
but
Margaret.
that's where it's hard. Hard as a parent, because you have so many kids, okay? And with that, with having so many kids, you're raising them the best that you can. There's gonna be jealousy, because now I'm trying to, like Monica, let her be who Monica is, so she can grow up to be the person that she's gonna be. And then I have to do the same with her, and I have to do the same with you. But in that process, it always seems to the kids, seems like they're getting neglected or different, But to a parent, it's not. You don't even think of, separating that love, that discipline, whatever. You're trying to understand each person's feelings, their thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, and of course, the older you get, the harder it is to understand who you are, who your kids are, because you're changing. Now you had 7 kids, 4 kids, but now the older ones are already going through all these changes. You know what I'm saying? So you, as a parent, you got to stop and try and understand why is she moody, why is she cranky, why. At the same time, you got the other 3 or 4 or however how many that don't understand what their older siblings going through. So now you gotta, now they're feeling neglected or pushed away, which is natural because they don't understand. Kids don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is. I mean, even as parents now. I mean, I'm struggling now as a parent. I mean, because I have teenagers, the twins at home, and then Crystal's such a different, so you still, like I said, always keep that foundation. And we were raised, I mean, we come from a very strong background of love, family, honesty. That's what I raised, my kids on, and integrity. Many people that don't know, he's a big fighter, so he has been through some things that, man, sets us an example for his kids. He is a fighter, and that's what makes us, that's what makes me go, hey, he did it. Look at what he did. So yeah, get your big girl panties on, girl, and let's go. So, Margaret, what was your question for Dad about all that?
So I was just wondering if, like, what made you, what do you think made you into the person you are today, from when you were a little kid and throughout your adult years?
Yeah, to instill that, pass it on to your kids.
It's what I went through as a kid. with my mom and dad. My dad worked, but he, as far as I can remember, he never had a 8 to 5 job, a steady job, Monday through Friday. He worked here, he worked there. Whenever he wanted to work, he didn't want to work, he didn't work. And my mom, she worked every freaking day for $1 a freaking day. So that's how I was. We were poor. So because we had to kind of grow up faster than kids, physically, mentally, faster then than kids have to today. Because there's so much stuff that's just an automatic for these kids today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it wasn't for us. We had to take care of what we had. We had to help. We had to, 12 years old, we had to go out there and work like a grown freaking man because that's what my dad was about, work, making us a man so that if something happened to him, we could survive in whatever world or whatever the world threw us. And why I am like this today is because of that. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. No. But we have to learn and grow really fast. Because my dad always told us, you're not always going to have me around. You're always going to have your mom around. One day, you don't know, I don't know. You're going to have to, like, be a man. So, I think what made me, it sucks because I lost my dad when I was 16 years old. I was still a kid in school, working the summer times and whatever. And then my dad died when I was 16. So at that point, and my mom didn't work then. So at that point, I had to
Excuse me.
me and my brothers had to become men right there and right now.
Step it
Because
up.
we couldn't leave my mom alone. She had no income. So we had to, Social Security, $60 a month or some crap. And, she got it because for us. But because we were taught that way we were, we never even tell mom, can I get my money? Can I get, we already knew. That's mom's. We went to work, we kept what we needed to spend. It's not, good, mom, I'm going to help you with this much. It's what we needed to spend for that weekend or whatever. And the rest was, mom, it's her freaking money. We had to, right now, become men. I was 16. My brothers are already, Uncle Pat was probably 18. Freddie was 20 something. So they were already pretty much on their own. But I was still in school. But I had to change,
Mhm.
become a man. At that instant that my dad died, because now I felt like I had to help take care of my mom.
Mhm.
Because she couldn't work a whole lot anymore. So everything that we did was for the families, not for me go out and work to save money to buy me a car, or because I wanted a pair of jeans or something. Always because we had to make sure my mom was okay,
Mhm.
because we had a place to live. The good thing is we didn't pay rent or nothing, but we still had to eat. And if we didn't work, help my mom out,
Mhm.
nothing. How are we supposed to survive? So when I left home after school, I was already an old man. I already knew how to survive. And I left home, and because I struggled, I never asked my mom for nothing. my brothers, nobody. I fell into a lot of hard times, like almost not making it, you know what I'm saying? But because I had to change in that instant, it made me a better person, who I am today. That fighter, I'm going to survive. I don't care. I'm going to survive because that's all I know, is to survive. I think about going to school to better myself, you know, is go to work and support your family. Work out how many hours you have to work, make sure they're okay, and that's all that matters. Don't worry about yourself. You, and because I think because I did that, and I won God's favor because He made sure that I never did without. I had to work for it. I had to struggle and make, you know what I'm saying. But things always happen at the right time because God was watching over me. He knew where my heart was. He knows today where my heart is. That's why I think I'm still here because He knows that. Well, He's got a plan for me. I don't know the plan. I just gotta go with the flow. And that's why I think that I stay strong because who I have around me, you guys, my kids, my grandkids, my gosh, and to great grandchildren, and with all what is wrong with me, you know, all my issues, who would think I'd even see my first grandkid? And I've always prayed to God to let me see at least one or two of my grandkids, just to see what they were gonna be like, you know.
So I don't know
That's like
if you call him a legend or
Superman.
Superman. I mean, he is our Superman. He's our hero. I mean, and I'm going to brag on him a whole lot because Dad is probably the oldest male to make it. He's 70 years old, young. Okay, yeah. No jokes. So, and he said a lot of issues. Is it okay if I share those with them?
Well,
He's a cancer survivor, which we're very proud of, that he's been able to beat it up to now, and it's going on how many years?
it's
Steven's 25.
22 years old.
Yeah.
22 years.
Yeah.
In August that I
22 years he's been fighting this. And he fights it. It's a battle. He's not the type of person, and I don't know if we see this, and we don't know if we let you see, we tell you, but we see the fight in you. We see you get up every day and you fight it and you pray, and it's obviously you've handed this over to God. So as your kids looking in out, we see that. So if there's anything that you're trying to get across to us, we're seeing it. Diabetes, and then he also, I can't remember how many years ago that he survived an explosion, and so he's a survivor.
A couple of them actually.
So yeah, and thanks to Dad, I mean, and to our parents, this is where we come from, and that's one of the things I was remembering is we were all sitting around talking, and Nana, one of the things you said the other day, I told Dad, I said it really hit me. I was like, what? She said, because you guys know this is a journey, we're just now getting to know baby sister here, and she was like, for them to say, okay, come live with me, like blew her away, and I was like, what? That's what you do. So for you to know, that's what family's about. It's not, any different, because at the end of the day, that's what we have, is for each other, and all that came from Dad. That's what we were raised as. We have our differences, we have our fights, what have you, but at the end of the day, it's always family. It's always love. So, yeah, I thought that's what stuck out. But he is a definite survivor. That's where I know I get my fight from every day, because there are sometimes that it's hard to even get out of bed. Like, I don't want to face this ugly world, but then I have to remember I get to see the world. It's always about changing the way you look at things, and the way you look at things will change, and what I get to do instead of what I have to do. So, yeah, and just want to say thank you,
You know,
because it's taking me through this. You know, we all had our struggles in life, our obstacles, and I know that that's what gets me through on a daily, all the time. So, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, like for me, like one of the biggest things that I take away from you is, sorry, I don't know why I'm emotional, is your faith in God and your love for Him. Like, because I've seen you overcome so much, and one of the memories that really stick out to me is when you caught on fire, and they were rolling him down the hallway on a hospital bed, and all he was screaming out was "Thank you, Jesus," and he was crying out to Him like for joy, and like that impacted my world so much to see that and to know like how much love and faith that my dad had. He didn't know, what was going to happen. They didn't know how severe the burns were. They didn't know if his lungs were burnt, or they just told us all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
he all he could say, in pain, was "Thank you, Jesus." And maybe one of these days he could share that story with you guys. But that is one of the things that I take away from you. And I see you, you know, you give God the glory, and you pray. When we stay at your house, and we stay in the room next to you, we hear you pray, and he prays for all of his kids, and he talks to God every night, and that's something that I hold in my heart. And out of all the things that you've shown us, like, for me, that's the biggest one, is the faith that you have in God. So thank you very much for that.
I just want to add to that something that I always remember. Maybe it's a little like out of your comfort zone, but we also
We
when we
warned
go
you.
when we go, we usually stay in the same room, and the room's right next to his room. So I will always remember staying in there and hearing him sing to Jesus in the nighttime and praying and all that stuff. So I think that's, I don't know, it's heartwarming to just lay there and listen to you singing and praying, and it's definitely something that'll always stay with me.
It reminds me of Grandma Garcia. When I used to sleep with her in the bed, you could hear her talking in Spanish. I didn't know what she was saying.
She's talking to her Tata Dios. She said, "My Tata Dios." My Father God.
But yeah.
So we just want to make sure that you see that, because a lot of times I think that we don't give you, as parents, how important that is. I mean, as a parent myself, not that I need that all the time, but every once in a while, it's good to hear, because as a parent, it's all new, it's different, and it's true. I know the Doctor who? Seuss? Spock wrote a book. Okay. Wrong doctor.
One of them doctors.
One of those doctors. Okay, but I didn't read that book. But what I'm trying to say is that every child is different, and so there's really not a, for me, I guess, checklist per se. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but anyhow, I just want to say, tell you now that you see us and you can hear us, we appreciate you and we thank you, and your hard work is paying off, because she takes a piece of it away. She takes a piece. I do not know that my brothers and my other sister out there do. And so sometimes in the hustle and bustle and all that, we don't go, wait a minute. So, thank you.
See, that's what I see. That's my reward. I don't do what I do for show. I don't do what I do so people can say, it's really a good thing, because I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I want my heart. I want to do what's in my heart, what God puts in my heart. For you guys, my grandkids, you guys are my world. So when I see you, and my son, sometimes I just sit back and I just watch how you guys have matured and say, wow, my kids are crazy. I don't know where they
Yeah, that
get
was
that from, not me. Probably their mom or something.
The mom. I'm laughing because he flew in. Oh Lord, he flew in last Saturday. Was that Sunday? We have dinner. Y'all know about those family dinners. And he was outside waiting for my sister. And he came back in. He was like, "Oh, that's a lot of grandkids." So that's why I'm laughing. I'm jumping your water. So yeah. Go ahead. We're fighting colds.
For a
So
minute.
sorry. What else you got for conclusion?
Is there anything that you want to leave with everybody, with your audience?
Couple of words of encouragement.
Wisdom.
Keep your faith in God. No matter what you go through, how hard it is, how sick you get, how tired you get, how mad you are, don't stop thanking God for the littlest things that happen in your life. They're not just cause to me, since all this happened, the littlest of good things that happened to me throughout the day, I consider a miracle. And I'm thanking God the whole freaking time. I get up and I make my own day. You guys can make your own day. If you get up in the morning, I feel like that's what your day's going to be like. But think, I know because I personally do this. You get up in the morning, God does not have to wake us up in the morning. But He does because he's a good God. When I get up in the morning, thank you. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for watching me last night. Now, I ask you to fill me with your joy this morning so that I can have a good day. And believe it or not, I'm not perfect, but I seldom have a good day. I don't have bad days. You know, you get stupid people when you're driving out there, you want to throw up. But I've been so blessed that I can hold
That's
back
where I
now.
get it from, Angel.
You know what I'm saying? So how I get up in the morning and choose to be, that's how my whole day's gonna go. You know, people that were the bosses that work, but you always look so happy. This whole son asked me one thing, does nothing ever piss you off? Not anymore, it used to, but not anymore. There's no need. Say for every second, every minute that you're mad, you're losing a minute of happiness. So why lose that? Something happens and you get all mad for 20 minutes, and then, oh, okay, I'm on board now. Nothing changed. Whatever happened there's still there, you still gotta fix it. You just lost those 10 minutes of happiness.
Yeah, that goes to our daily affirmations that we should be doing. Sister Margaret, oh, being so perfect. She did hers this week. I didn't. And so we really need to get on all those and really share that with you throughout the week. Maybe, Dad, if you're up to it, before you go back, I'd like to video you, and you can share your story of the explosion, because that's a really big impact. Just you, and then we just put a separate video if you guys are okay, so you guys can come back and see where that came from, that whole story behind that, because it's an awesome story. Sorry. Do we have anything else? Anything else? Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Dad, thank you for putting up with our craziness, and
Thank you for putting up with me.
I was gonna say, I think he just adds to it.
we appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week. Remember to share, comment,
subscribe,
and love us. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Ningún
If I do that.
pendejadas.
Oh yeah, see, look. So, yeah, don't. And then, again, we appreciate your time because, like I know, the time that you take to watch us is valuable, and we appreciate you. So, we'll see you guys next week. Please, please, please comment, and y'all have a blessed week.
Peace
Peace out.
out.
Hasta
next
la
time.
otra semana.